How's it going? You're watching Chasing Green, and I want to talk to you about layout blinds. Nobody loves hunting out of a layout. It sucks to shoot out of. It's not fun getting up and down. They are comfortable usually, but in my many years of waterfowl hunting, especially on mallards, 9 times out of 10, layouts are going to be your best bet if you're worried about getting a secure hide. If you want to get ducks in tight and shoot them feet down in the decoys, the best way to do it most of the time is going to be a layout. And if you watch the channel very much, you know most of what I hunt is public land. And if it's not public, it's some hard to get to private that no one else wants to lease or hunt. So usually we're either walking a long ways or we're boating in. And for either one of those, weight and size is always key. So we just rarely have the luxury to hunt with the nice big layouts, you know, that have the big frame. We're almost always packing in. Now, I've talked about the Rogers Low Profile 2.0 in the past. I've already done a video on it. I'll link it down in the description. And I said it is the best lightweight option out there. And it is. But today I want to talk about the TideWe layout blind because I believe this to be the best hybrid option as far as a lightweight, mobile, able to pack it in and out layout blind. Now, when you compare these two, they're similar in many ways. They're both packable. They both have backpack straps. They both clip together in the same way. They're both similar in their framing. They've got frames up top and frames over your hip / thighs to keep the blind up off of you. But that's the only framing in both of these. Both have mesh tops. I mean, they're very similar blinds, but where they're different right off the bat, you're gonna notice that the TideWe is larger. It's probably about 30 to 40% larger. And the reason why I say this one is one of the best hybrid options out there is that it has a lot more features, it's more comfortable, and I believe it to be made out of better material and be more durable. However, if being light and compact is the main priority for me, like on a long walk or something, I'm grabbing the Rogers every time. The first thing about this TideWe blind that I really like is the bottom. You can lay this in damp ground and it's not gonna soak through. Whereas the Rogers is just made out of the same thing all over. If you lay this thing in mud or semi-damp ground, the bottom of it's going to get wet, and it even gets soaked if you're in actual water. This thing is waterproof. No water's coming through here. Another awesome thing I love about this is how the backrest sets up. I absolutely despise how the headrest sets up on the Rogers. It's a fight every time. It was one of the worst ways possible you could have designed it. However, this is super easy. You don't have to strain with it, and it's also adjustable. It's got the yellow handles here. You can lift this up or down to give you more of an angle, like if you're on an incline, which is really handy. Nothing sucks worse than having the wrong angle in a layout and you can't see over your feet. The headrest is also much more comfortable. It just Velcros to the back. It's got a nice pad that you can it's got a little bit of play to it to where you can adjust it to where you want. The back of the TideWe is connected by these straps that you can tighten or loosen to move where the pad is on the headrest. Some other features I like about this blind are the handles right here. Nice and easy to grab, sturdy. It's gonna come to you every time just right. It's also got the mesh top to where you can kind of, especially with me with the camera, I can do this however I need to. This blind also has plenty of pockets in it for storage. You've got one pouch on each side that's zippered. You've also got this shell holder here at the bottom. It's got shell loops and also just a general catch-all. You can put trash in here or whatever. I normally store most of my stuff in a layout blind though behind the headrest because you got a big gap back there. Another cool little additional feature is they have a zipper portion here at the back of the headrest for storage, or you could put a cushion in there and see it lifts this up, put you a pillow in there, you're gonna be much more comfortable. This is also waterproof, or at least water resistant. It's a pretty big storage compartment. But one of the most important things about a layout blind is being comfortable. And this one's about as comfortable as it gets. I could lay here all day long. Where the TideWe blind also has an edge over the Rogers is that the frame from the headrest to the waist is connected all by one ride, which makes this stand up a lot better. It's also got these straps right here that you can tighten, and when you tighten these straps, it lifts this up and keeps it off of you. The Rogers hangs right on you. Now again, if you're looking for lightweight and compact, that's a plus because it's so tiny, so small. It's basically like you're just putting a sock over yourself. However, it sucks getting out of because it just sticks to you. This system right here with these straps that you can tighten to lift this up was genius. Another great thing about it is it's got a zip out at the bottom. Way easier to clean stuff out. The Rogers don't, and you got to shake shells out of it. You got to shake grass out of it when it gets in it. It's way better to have a zipper bottom for clean out, and as well, this is waterproof, so no water's coming in, but it's also not coming out. If water does get in here, you can just unzip the bottom and pour it out. However, one major weakness with the TideWe are the connecting buckles that you use to fold it up. I broke one, I think Evan broke one, and Aiden may have broke one too. Terrible clips, just weak, plastic, cheap. Last year was their first run of these, and I've talked with people in the company. They recognized the problem. When I last talked to them, that was before this next generation. They were in the process of replacing them, so I'm sure they're gonna get that fixed. You gotta give companies a little slack when it's their first time. They live and learn, you know. All in all, I've shot a ton of ducks in both of these blinds, and I like both of them depending on what purpose I need them for. If you're going for the most lightweight setup possible, you really only care about being able to walk a long ways with it or fit a lot of them in a crowded boat, the Rogers Low Pro is going to be the better option. It's just not going to be the most comfortable when you get out there. If you still walk into places, but sometimes you're able to pull up in the truck, sometimes it's not that far a boat ride, like you got more easier stuff, then the TideWe Hybrid is going to be the best all-in-one that I found. If I can choose and get away with the TideWe, I'm picking it every time. I think they have the TideWe layout blind listed for like $300, $350, something like that, but you can find it for better deals than that if you keep an eye out. They do sales on the website all the time. You can get it for around $200 around Black Friday. You can also use my discount code CGO18 for additional 18% off. I'll link it down in the description if you want to look at it in more detail. If you want to check out a hunt where we absolutely beat down the teal in the TideWe blinds, you can click right here. If you want to see the best hunt of my lifetime, click this video right here. Thanks for watching, and Lord willing, I'll catch you next time right here on Chasing Green.